Here is something that will completely change the way you think about your morning coffee. After 30 years working inside an emergency room, I watched something happen over and over again that nobody talks about openly. Strong, capable men in their early 60s would come in for a routine visit, and then I would see those same men a decade later, struggling to lift what once felt effortless to them. They had not given up on life. They were not lazy. They still had their routines, their morning rituals, their cups of coffee. But something had silently slipped away from them without any warning. And what I discovered after years of frustration and thousands of hours of research is that the answer was sitting right there in their coffee cup the whole time. They just did not know what to add to it. Muscle loss after 60 does not happen the way most people imagine. It does not crash down on you overnight like a sudden illness. It erodes quietly, slowly, invisibly, the way a riverbank crumbles over years of gentle water pressure until one day the whole thing gives way. You wake up and realize your grip is weaker. Climbing stairs wins you faster. Carrying groceries feels harder than it should. And by the time you notice those signs, the process has already been working against you for years. The cruel reality is that after 60, your muscles do not just shrink in size. They become resistant. They require a much stronger trigger to respond, to rebuild, to stay strong. Random protein at dinner is not enough. A walk around the block is not enough. And plain black coffee, as much as we all love it, is just stimulation without any real structure behind it. So out of pure determination to find something that actually worked, we began testing. We looked at over 1,000 different compounds, amino acids, plant extracts, healthy fats, minerals, adaptogens, and we evaluated what happened when they were added to that very first cup of coffee in the morning. Most of them did absolutely nothing meaningful. Some actually made things worse by spiking stress hormones without giving the body anything to support recovery. But out of all those combinations, 5 compounds kept rising to the top, consistently, reliably, and in ways that genuinely surprised even us. These 5 are not random supplements. They are specific research-backed additions that work with your biology after 60 rather than against it. And today I am going to walk you through all 5 of them, ranked from least powerful to most powerful, so you know exactly where to focus your attention. Coming in at number 5 is something so ordinary that most people completely dismiss it. And that is a costly mistake. Ceylon cinnamon is not the bargain spice sitting in your cabinet from 5 years ago. It is a specific variety of cinnamon backed by serious science that targets one of the most destructive forces working against your muscles right now. After 60, your body enters a state of chronic low-grade inflammation that researchers call inflammaging. You cannot feel it, you cannot see it, but it is quietly breaking down your muscle tissue every single day, hour after hour, without pause. A study published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that cinnamon supplementation significantly reduced muscle soreness markers and improved recovery after physical activity. Researchers at the University of Georgia found it lowered oxidative stress by up to 25%, essentially giving your muscles the breathing room they desperately need to repair themselves. The key detail here is that you must use Ceylon cinnamon specifically, not the cheaper cassia version found in most grocery stores. Cassia contains high levels of a compound called coumarin, which can be harmful to your liver when consumed daily over time. Ceylon cinnamon has only trace amounts, making it completely safe for long-term daily use. The way to use it is beautifully simple. Add half a teaspoon to 1 full teaspoon directly into your coffee grounds before brewing so the hot water pulls out all the beneficial compounds during the process itself. Alternatively, stir it into your finished cup and let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes before drinking. Consistency is everything here because researchers found the most meaningful anti-inflammatory results in people who maintained daily intake for a minimum of 8 continuous weeks. This one affordable spice transforms your coffee from a basic stimulant into a genuine inflammation-fighting foundation for everything else we are about to build on top of it. Number 4 is something most people associate with childhood comfort and holiday indulgence, but what science has uncovered about it in recent years is nothing short of remarkable. Raw cacao powder, and I want to be very clear that this is not hot chocolate mix or standard cocoa powder, is one of the most nutrient-dense muscle-supporting foods ever studied in clinical research. Researchers at the University of California, Davis found that the flavonols in raw cacao significantly improve blood flow and vascular function in ways that directly benefit your muscles. A landmark study in the British Journal of Nutrition showed that cacao flavonols improve the function of blood vessel linings by over 30% in older adults, meaning their vessels became dramatically better at dilating and delivering nutrient-rich blood to muscle tissue throughout the body. Think about what that actually means for you practically. You could be eating perfectly, exercising regularly, doing everything right, but if your blood vessels have stiffened and narrowed with age, the nutrients you are consuming simply never reach your muscles efficiently. They starve despite your best efforts. Raw cacao directly solves that delivery problem. Beyond blood flow, a single tablespoon provides nearly 25% of your daily magnesium needs, and magnesium is essential for proper muscle contraction and preventing those painful nighttime cramps that become increasingly common after 60. Even more exciting, raw cacao contains a compound called epicatechin that activates a protein called follistatin, while simultaneously suppressing myostatin, which is the compound your body naturally produces to cap how much muscle you can build. Add 1 full tablespoon to your coffee right alongside the Ceylon cinnamon and stir thoroughly. Just make sure the label says raw cacao because standard Dutch processed cocoa destroys up to 90% of the beneficial flavonols through high heat processing. Number 3 sounds like it belongs in a conversation with elite athletes and not someone enjoying a quiet morning at home. But the science behind MCT oil and aging muscles is so compelling that researchers are now designing entire studies specifically for older populations. Medium-chain triglycerides take a completely different path through your body compared to regular dietary fats. Instead of going through a long, complicated digestive process, MCTs travel directly to your liver and convert almost immediately into ketones, which serve as a clean, highly efficient alternative fuel source that your muscles can use right away. This matters enormously after 60 because aging muscles become increasingly resistant to using glucose for energy, a condition researchers call anabolic resistance. Your muscles are essentially trying to run on a less and less efficient fuel at exactly the moment in life when they need more energy than ever just to maintain themselves. A study at the University of Alberta found that ketone availability from MCT consumption reduced muscle protein breakdown by up to 17% in older subjects. That means your body was consuming significantly less of its own muscle tissue just to meet daily energy demands, which is an extraordinary finding. To add it properly, start with just 1 teaspoon in your first week because too much too soon can cause temporary digestive discomfort. Then gradually increase to 1 full tablespoon over 2 to 3 weeks. Stir it vigorously into your warm coffee, or use a small handheld milk frother to emulsify it completely, which improves absorption significantly. Always choose MCT oil that specifies it contains primarily C8 and C10 caprylic and capric acids on the label, as these are the specific chain lengths that convert to ketones most efficiently and deliver the greatest muscle-sparing benefits according to published research. Now we arrive at number 2. And this is the one that quietly shocked us because the science behind it is so overwhelming yet so few people over 60 are paying any attention to it. Vitamin D3 deficiency is silently destroying muscle mass in older adults at an alarming rate, and current estimates suggest that between 50 and 70% of people over 60 are deficient without having any idea. A massive meta-analysis published in the journal Osteoporosis International reviewed over 29 separate studies and found that vitamin D supplementation significantly improved muscle strength and physical performance in adults over 60, with the most dramatic results seen in those who were deficient at the start. Vitamin D works directly on your muscles through specialized receptors that sit right on the surface of your individual muscle fibers, and without adequate vitamin D, those receptors cannot function properly. When those receptors are not getting what they need, your muscles literally cannot contract with their full force potential. Recovery slows down substantially. And most critically, the type 2 fast-twitch muscle fibers responsible for explosive power and balance begin to atrophy at an accelerated rate. Researchers at the University of Zurich found that older adults with sufficient vitamin D levels had up to a 40% reduced risk of experiencing a fall compared to those with chronically low levels. Considering that falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in adults over 65, this is not a minor detail. It is a matter of genuine safety and independence. Adding liquid vitamin D3 drops to your coffee is brilliantly effective because vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning it requires dietary fat to be properly absorbed. If you are already adding MCT oil, you have created the perfect absorption vehicle right there in your cup. Add 2 to 4 drops of a high-quality D3 supplement directly into your coffee after the MCT oil and stir together so the fat-soluble molecules bind to the fat for maximum uptake. And now we arrive at number 1, the addition that changes everything. The one backed by research so strong and consistent that it is genuinely shifting how scientists and clinicians approach muscle preservation in aging adults. Collagen peptides are the single most impactful thing you can add to your morning coffee after 60, and most people have no idea why. A groundbreaking study published in the British Journal of Nutrition followed older men with sarcopenia through a 12-week resistance training program, and found that those supplementing daily with collagen peptides gained significantly more lean muscle mass and lost significantly more body fat, compared to those doing the identical training without collagen. The differences between the two groups were not small or borderline. They were dramatic, statistically significant, and impossible to dismiss. Here is what makes collagen peptides so uniquely powerful for aging muscles. Your muscles are not just fibers working in isolation. They are wrapped in and structurally supported by an extensive collagen-based connective tissue network called the extracellular matrix. This network is essentially the scaffolding that holds your muscles together and transmits force when you move. After 60, this scaffolding degrades steadily, and your muscles lose structural integrity year after year without any visible sign until the weakness becomes undeniable. When you consume hydrolyzed collagen peptides, research from the University of Freiburg showed that specific amino acids including hydroxyproline are absorbed intact and directed preferentially to this connective tissue network, actively stimulating cells to produce fresh collagen exactly where it is needed most. A separate study confirmed that collagen peptides increased muscle protein synthesis in older adults even without exercise, though the benefits were amplified significantly when physical activity was included. To use it properly, add 1 full scoop, typically 10 to 15 grams of hydrolyzed collagen peptide powder into your warm coffee and stir until fully dissolved. The hydrolyzed form is essential because it means the large collagen proteins have already been broken down into smaller peptide chains that dissolve easily and absorb rapidly without clumping or leaving any texture. The remarkable thing is that collagen peptides are virtually tasteless and completely odorless in hot coffee, so they will not change the flavor of your morning cup at all. Look for products sourced from grass-fed bovine or wild-caught marine sources that specify types 1 and 3 collagen on the label, as these are most directly relevant to muscle connective tissue and structural support throughout your entire body. So here is what your morning coffee now looks like when you put all 5 of these together. Ceylon cinnamon fighting the chronic inflammation that quietly erodes your muscle tissue day by day. Raw cacao powder opening your blood vessels so critical nutrients can actually reach the muscles that need them. MCT oil providing clean, immediately usable fuel for muscles that have become resistant to standard glucose metabolism. Vitamin D3 drops activating the receptors on your muscle fibers so they can contract with full strength and recover with full efficiency. And collagen peptides rebuilding the structural framework that holds your entire muscular system together from the deepest level outward. Each one of these is genuinely powerful on its own, but combined in a single daily cup, They support your muscles from every angle simultaneously in a way that nothing else can match. Start this week by adding them one at a time. Give your body a few days to adjust to each addition before layering in the next. Do not rush the process because your body needs time to recognize and respond to these new inputs. Within 8 weeks, you will likely begin noticing real differences in your energy levels, your recovery time, the firmness and responsiveness of your muscles, and perhaps most importantly, your confidence in what your body can still do. After 60, strength is not something that simply fades beyond reach. It is something that responds when you give it the right signals at the right time. And now, starting tomorrow morning, you have exactly what you need to do that.